M&T Bank Stadium. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Carolina Panthers and the Baltimore Ravens. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play.
And that's how you get started and open up a game. Really well-blocked play. Picked up a nice chunk of yardage. If you're the offensive line, that's exactly what you've talked about all week long in your meetings. Establish the line of scrimmage and take control. And they gave their running back plenty of room to rumble.
Here's Corral on first down. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Up the middle they go with McAllister. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, this defense for the Panthers, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he is out of bounds right around the 34. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down. Here's Jackson. Going deep downfield for Ross. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The Ravens at 6-3 on the year, and they come in off the extended break from the bye.
And I think it was much needed as well because you play 2.5 months. You know you're ready for some time off in order to get prepared for the home stretch. In fact, when they looked at the schedule to start the season, I think they liked where their open week fell.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Jackson going to run again. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. First down. Here's Corral with it. Pass complete across the formation to Melton. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10. Corral to throw. 1st and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Patrick Queen charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
The lessons will continue for this rookie. He's got to learn how to read situations just a little bit better. That far behind the line, he's got to find a way to get rid of the football and not take the sack, whether it's with his legs or just throwing it away.
Another try after the first down sack. Corral. And it'll be intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by J.C. Horn. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it doesn't take a whole lot of investigation to figure out why they're still sitting at 0 on the scoreboard, because their quarterback's got to wake up and start reading defense a heck of a lot better after throwing his 2nd interception.
They'll run up the middle with McAllister. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Another run with McAllister. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. His 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Another run here with Dobbins. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 3rd down, Jackson. This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And that is incomplete here. Isaiah Likely the target that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by Keith Taylor. And the Panthers are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, it turns out it's not their offense who gets him on the board first, CD. It's the defense coming through right there with a pick 6.
And I know from experience throughout the week, when you go against the offense, you're challenging them all the time. You're letting them know, hey, don't worry about scoring this week. We'll take care of it. We'll get a few pick 6s and score ourselves. You're just kidding? But how about what he just did right there? Laid it out for the rest of the game. We scored. Hey, offense, can you keep up with us?
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taking it about the 1. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. A give running left, McAllister. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 58 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
The first down throw here for Corral. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Carolina. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they had lost 2 in a row prior to getting the open week last weekend, so potentially a chance for them to get away for a bit, keel up, and come back strong.
That's what the hope is anyway, because you're going to find out now with your team, are you still focused on being the best you can be for the rest of the season with the things going the way they have earlier this year.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll go again with Dobbins. And some room to maneuver. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Sometimes running plays hit or break so fast, there's no reaction time from the secondary. So I've got to give credit to the offensive line for creating that hole so suddenly. And how decisive was he to take that cut and just go? No one downfield there to stop him.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on. Both sides moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this, to seeing all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter?
Corral lost it. The ball is out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And this is going to be brought back for a Baltimore touchdown. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fields it right around the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And, Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and bottom line is protect the football and just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points, but that doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try and put the ball in the end zone yourself.
Moore, the man in motion. On 2nd and 9, Corral. And he will find the open man. It's DJ Moore. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. On 3rd and 1, Corral. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead.
Corral is intercepted again. That's number 3. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Don't ever try my nigga like that, bro.
Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score.
Don't ever do it.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taking it about the 1. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 2nd and 7, Corral. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this will be caught at the 30. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Corral. Another catch from Melton. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Corral to throw on 1st and 10. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. On the give, McAllister with it. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal. Here's Corral. He's got it for a Panther touchdown. Bo Melton. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Panthers get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And they're within 7 now at 28-21. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have, the ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And some room to work. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Here's Corral on 1st down. Going for it all. And that is incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Corral, another throw on 2nd down. He's got his tight end. It's Tommy Tremble. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Now Corral, 3rd and 2. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Marshall. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field. so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
2nd and 10. To the air again. Here's Corral. And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Terrace Marshall in the final seconds of the first half. And the Panthers have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. Flushed out right. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. This offense ready for the first drive of the third quarter. Well, quarters number 1 and 2 entertaining. We saw some good offense points put up, Charles, and all tied on the scoreboard.
And it sets us up for what could be a really fun second half because we've seen both sides score almost at will here in the first half. And now, here in the second half, getting the ball first, you've got to think, hey, we can go out and really run our offense the way we did in the first half. But if I'm a defensive player, all I'm thinking is, can I make a play to really help out my team and break this streak of offense?
Right back to Dobbins on first. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Complete to Likely on the out route. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Panthers. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust?
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take the blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's Corral. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Here's Johnny Hecker now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Jackson back into his end zone. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. It's his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw and a good one.
On running plays, linemen, of course, have their assignments. That's expected. But it's not often you're expecting to see a cornerback blitzing in run support and tackling the runner for a loss.
Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson. His throw incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play action. Now Jackson. And my goodness, another interception. Dante Jackson picks it.
Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
Here's Corral on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The Panthers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Third down, Corral. Looking in zone, but it's incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. So he waited on the sideline for his first chance in the ball game, and it didn't come until the 4th quarter, but he connects there. A big one to give him the lead.
Boy, you talk about coming in cold. I don't care how many times you kick it into a net. You're not really ready when you go out there and all that beef is coming at you trying to block the kick. Big spot, and he delivers.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they really need to forget about their last time out, the turnover that led to a field goal. So now they try to regroup, trailing in the final quarter. Obviously, they'd love a touchdown, but 3 would suffice. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away. Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Former first-rounder Derek Brown living up to the billing on that stop.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson.
Escaping the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return, and the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion. Let's go.
Now Corral on 3rd and 2. That caught by Tremble. And he is going to have a Panthers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating defensively. You're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
94 yards on the ground for him so far.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Corral. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are right back in this football game. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
After the interception, here's Jackson.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Second down and 3.
A give up and he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Corral to Moore there. Good for a Carolina first.
Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Straight ahead with Hubbard.
And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Here's Corral.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Kyle Hamilton picks it.
There he goes, left side. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that.
That's
Anytime
right.
we have a
That's
defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
Important extra point up and through, and that will make this a 4-point game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Corral. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker
It's a pick six and a Raven touchdown.
The defense, they were all over that. As soon as that ball was in the air, it was dangerous. Not only was it intercepted, CD, but they return it for the touchdown.
Yeah, and he read that the entire way. He was reacting before other players had a chance to react themselves. Had the determination to say, this just won't be a pick. It's going to be 6 points as he takes it the other way to the end zone.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Fields it right around the goal line. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if finally we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Able to find Melton.
And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Now Corral.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Corral to throw.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
There's a reason the number 4 was flashing through my mind when he let that one go. 3 touchdowns already in his back pocket. The deep ball's been a great weapon for him in this one. Unfortunately, empty on that attempt.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Here's Corral.
Trying to lay one up deep. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. So certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. So still a chance with just over 20 seconds to go, but they need to get this one back, no doubt. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. And instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one, because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to one possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. In this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So for Baltimore, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Carolina, we'll see how this affects their playoff standing as they fall to 7-4 now on the year. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos.
For me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.